welcome back to my channel. So if you have been watching my channel recently, you know that we recently just released a curling iron here at Jessi Styles Co. We have been working on this for a long time, and I'm so excited that it's finally here. So I wanted to make a little video for you guys on how I like to curl my hair with it. We're doing a little date night tonight, me and my boyfriend, so we are going to be curling my hair for a date night, and I'm going to show you guys all the tips and tricks of how I like to use this iron. First, I wanted to give you a little bit of info on it. So it is an extra long barrel. The reason we customized this barrel to be long is because we're an extension company, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with extensions, but if you are, you know that curling them can be frustrating, especially the longer they are, or honestly just even long hair in general. It'll fall out of the iron, you have to curl the top first, then the bottom. So the extensions typically fit on this whole iron, which is really nice. But the nice thing about this as well is that it's also really good for short hair. We've had a lot of clients and models that have short hair that have used this and loved it as well. My sister just recently cut her hair and she said she swears by this. So it's actually really good for all hair lengths and all hair types. And then I also customized this barrel to be extra tight. I've used irons in the past where this starts to get loose and the hair just slips out and falls out. And we tested this for a while and this one's really strong. So that's another perk to it. How you use it is this is the power button right here. So what I'm going to do to turn it on is I'm just going to press the power button once and it automatically goes to 300 degrees and then it starts heating up. So you can see it's now at 375. I'm just going to keep pressing it and it's going to get higher and higher, and I'm just going to keep going till I get to the temperature I want, and then once it heats up to the temperature you leave it at, it locks. So if you accidentally hit this button while you're curling your hair, no big deal, it's going to lock, it won't change on you. But if you do want to lower the temperature or higher it once it's locked, you just double click this button and then you can go up or down. So that's really nice. My favorite part of this iron is that we customized it to be our brand, Jessi Styles Co. So it really fits everything that we have. So it's black, it has all of the gold hardware, which is really nice. And then we have our little logo on it. And then my favorite part is the extra glittery barrel. That is just like a super cute touch and I'm obsessed with it. I will say the one thing with this iron you need to watch, since it is an extra long barrel, the heated part comes down to right here. There's no barrier right here. We had to do that to get the extra long barrel. So just be careful when you're curling your hair that you don't accidentally hit your finger on it. I have noticed if this is up, it's easier to touch it. So just put this part down and then it's pretty easy to avoid. But if you know that going into it, then it should be no problem. I just wanted to warn you guys about it. So that is our iron. I hope you guys are really excited about this like I am. I will of course put all of the information on how to get this iron in the description box below. But if you're interested in watching this little curling tutorial, stay tuned. Okay, so I'm gonna start underneath here. When I do my client's hair, I like to section off and do like underneath, middle, and top. But when I do my own hair, I kind of just like to grab, especially because with my own hair, I like it to be kind of messy and looser waves. So I'm just gonna start under here like this, and then I'm just gonna keep grabbing pieces as I go. The key to how I curl my hair is I take smaller sections. Especially with extensions, you want to make sure you're not taking too much hair, because if it's too thick, it's not going to curl the right way. So a piece about that big is good. And I like to smooth the iron over my hair once just to kind of heat it up and smooth it out. And then I open the barrel and I start towards the top, and I'm just going to wrap and pull down. And I'm opening that barrel as I pull down just gently, and then I'm just working my way down. And then I leave about an inch out on the ends because that's going to give it that like loose beachy look. If you curl all the way to the ends, it's going to be a little too tight, at least just for what I like. And then what I like to do if I do want it extra beachy is when I'm releasing it, see how I'm twisting it like this and then sliding out in the ends. That's going to give it that really textured look, which is what I'm going for. And then you can always rotate the direction of which you're curling. So I was curling back on those, and then I'm gonna go forward on this one. And you can do that throughout your entire hair to give it that like messier look. But then once you get around the face, make sure you always curl away from the face. So once I hit like above the ear, like right here, that's when I would start curling back only. Okay, so now that this side is curled, you can see that I haven't touched them yet. Something I like to do is I'll run my fingers through it first just to kind of mess it up and make it more textured. And then I'm gonna go through and brush it afterwards. But this is gonna help it look a little piecier and not all brushed together. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it when you curl your hair and it all just like molds into one curl. This will help with that, and also alternating your pieces will help with that as well. So then I'm gonna take my brush and go through it. And then that's where I can kind of see where I need to add more curls or if I need to flat iron any pieces, which sometimes I do if one went too curly. But for the most part, it looks really good right here. I'm just gonna take this one and curl this a little bit more higher up. And then let it cool for a minute. And then something I like to do, I showed you guys how I leave my ends out. Since I left all the ends out, they're all straight that you can see, which isn't a bad look, but sometimes I like to go in and I'll grab just the bottoms and curl those, just so that some of them are a little curlier than others, and it gives it like a textured look rather than just curly and then straight. And you don't do this to all of them, you just kind of randomly select. And you can see that I'm not curling all the way down. I'm still leaving a little ends out, but it's just breaking it up and adding texture. So I like to do that once it's all combed out so I can see where I need it. It's usually only like 2 or 3 pieces, like you can see. And then after I do that, I'm gonna go back through and run my fingers through it again, especially with this piece now being ready. And then we'll be good to go. Okay, so now that that's all done, I'm gonna take my texture spray. One of my favorites is the Kevin Murphy Bedroom Hair. It smells and works amazing. And I'm just gonna slightly mist this over to give it a little more texture. Sometimes I'll follow this up with hairspray, especially if I'm doing tighter curls or I need them to last all night. But in this situation and like day to day, I usually like it to be really just like loose and wavy. So texture spray is all I use just because it keeps it very flexible and movable. And then I always will use oil as well. So this is the Jessi Styles Co. Rosé Shine. And I'll just do 1 pump because a little bit goes a long way. Rub it through my hands like this, and then I start at the ends and work my way up. You never want to put oil any higher than your mids, because if you have extensions, it's going to cause them to slip. And even if you don't have extensions, it's going to make your hair look a little greasier up in the root area, which we want to avoid. But also putting oil in kind of helps break those curls up, as you can see as well. So now that that side of my hair is done, I'm going to mimic the same thing on this side. Typically, I like to curl my hair once a week. I usually only wash my hair once a week just because with all these extensions, it's easier not to do it every day. And my hair's pretty dry. My skin and hair are dry by nature, so I can usually go a little bit longer. So I'll curl it the first day after I wash it. I just washed it last night and let it air dry, so that's why it's straight today. So I'll curl it the first day, like I said, and then I'll just let it fall looser each day. And what I love about this iron is it holds the curls so well that I honestly don't have to do much the next day. And honestly, having extensions helps with that as well, because extensions hold curls so well. So the combination of using this iron and having extensions is amazing, because if I go to bed with my hair curled, I'll wake up and I just have to kind of brush it out, maybe touch up a few pieces around my face, and it just gets looser each day, and I'm good to go. And I actually prefer my hair in a looser curl, so by the end of the week, it's just like a slight bend, and I actually love that. So if you're looking for a really low maintenance way to do your hair, this is it. And even just curling it right now, this is only gonna take me like 10-15 minutes at the most, so it's a really, really quick way to do it, and I love how low maintenance that is. So we always say here at the salon that having extensions is high maintenance to be low maintenance, because the high maintenance part is coming every 6 to 8 weeks to get them moved up, but day to day it makes your life a lot easier and more low maintenance, so that's really nice. important thing to keep in mind when curling hair with extensions in is to try to curl the extensions separately from your own hair. If your hair's a little bit longer, curling them together is fine, but I have shorter pieces up here, and so I always make sure I do those separate. I actually like to keep my top layer somewhat straight so it just blends in. If I were to go through and curl this piece, it's gonna look really funny, but if I just kind of like smooth it into the extensions, then it ends up blending a lot better. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing where I run my fingers through it, touch up a few pieces where needed. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that little curling tutorial. It literally took me 10 minutes. It was super quick and super easy. I want you guys to check this iron out if you're interested because I'm super excited about it and I worked really hard on it. I wanted to talk about the name a little bit. It's called the J-Wave by Jay-Z. We wanted to come up with a really unique name for the iron that people would remember and it would roll off the tongue. And I always get questions about how I curl my hair because I like the loose, bendy, beach textured wave. So the J-Wave just kind of naturally fits. So it's like the Jessi wave. And like I said, I always curl it a little tighter the first day and then I just let it fall throughout the week and it's perfect. So this is the J-Wave and I hope you guys check it out. It retails for $75.50 on our website. And stylists, if you have our stylist discount, you can receive your discount on this so that you can retail it to your clients or get it a little bit cheaper for yourself if you are licensed. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and let me know if you would like to see more hair tutorials like this one.